taking enemies down left and right. Nobody can stop you. And you turn a corner and your worst enemy appears. Lag. So, how can we fix lag in Marvel Rivals? That's what we're going to be going over today. And this game is unique because it gives you a few more options, or at least one or two more options that I really do like. First off, let's go over the types of lag. There's network lag and then there's graphics lag. Graphics lag has to do with your computer, network lag has to do with your internet connection or your network. We're going to go over network lag first because that's actually a pretty cool one when it comes to Marvel Rivals. So here's a few options that you can do. First off, you can go to the server options and check which servers are best for you. You can do something like not check Oregon because it's on the other side of the country, same with Dallas, and just stick with North Virginia because that one's legit. Or if you're a real dumbass, you could just click Sydney because that's got the highest number, and then your games are all going to suck. Basically, when it comes to lag, lower is better, green is good, and you just want to pick the server that's closest to you. There are some weird things where maybe if you're in Europe, Frankfurt might be better than Warsaw, even if you're closer to Warsaw. Or if you're in the US, maybe Dallas is better than Oregon, even if you're closer to Oregon. But you get what I'm saying. Lowest number is better. Check back periodically because this will change. Another cool thing that you can do is if you go to other here, you can go to network diagnostics and run your diagnostics. This is going to show you things like ping and packet loss. If your packet loss is high, that means that you probably want to use an Ethernet connection for your console or PC. If your ping is high, that probably means that you want to stop using the internet. So if you got other things running on the background, if you're downloading a game or watching the latest hub drop, you probably want to stop doing that. Now, let's get into graphical lag because there's a few things we can do to fix this. And there's a lot of things that people just miss. So let's jump into it. First things first, if you go down to graphics, set it to low. That's the best. It's just not going to lag as much. And later on, you can bump things up and try to play with it. In my case, I can play on high. One thing I'd recommend is setting global illumination to low quality. Reflections, you can set that down to screen space. Model detail, I like to leave that high. Same with post-processing. Shadow detail, you can turn that down to low. Textures, I like to leave high or medium. Effects, you can turn those down to low. That actually might even help your gameplay a little bit, depending on which effect. And foliage, you can turn that down to low. This is sort of the custom settings that I like, that I find works the best for me, because there's a few things I don't want to compromise on, but you do you. And honestly, if you're having issues, low is best. Now, some other settings that you can play with that make things run better is display mode. If you're having issues with lag or stutter or anything like that, try playing in different display modes: full screen, windowed, and borderless. It really depends on what's going on, but sometimes I've found some good results just changing the display modes. In addition to this, your resolution, knock that down as low as you're willing to go. The lower the resolution, the better. Also, you're going to want to have DLSS on or AMD FSR. Those do help with lag. Reduce this, go to performance. For resolution sharpening, that really doesn't matter. Frame generation, I honestly have run into some weird bugs with this. I like to leave that off. Low latency mode, this really depends on what you've got. If you've got the NVIDIA Reflex low latency going, you can turn that on. Otherwise, it doesn't really matter. One other thing you can do is limit your FPS. So one thing a lot of players will run into is maybe they're running at 240 FPS and then they'll get these drops down to 30. If you just set your FPS to 60 or 50 or 30 even, the game's going to run smoother. At least it's going to feel smoother. You're not going to be getting maximum FPS, but you're going to be getting a stable FPS, which can actually help. Also, you can show your FPS and show your network stats. This means that instead of just staring at the screen and seeing if it feels better, you can look at actual numbers. Again, higher in this case is better for FPS. Network stats, generally lower is better. And as far as other things go with this game, you want to make sure all of your drivers are up to date. There's new updates coming out all the time, and this game uses Unreal Engine 5, which is buggy but constantly being updated, and drivers that involve this are also constantly being updated. So make sure you do pay attention to your drivers because that does matter. Other thing that you're going to want to do, I've got to say this because every now and then someone's like, Serial, I never thought of that. Turn off everything going on in the background. If you're trying to record the latest and greatest gameplay, maybe don't. It might actually help things run better and you might just have a better experience. You're not Serial Overdrive after all, getting 100 views per video. Shout out to the 100 people who are sticking around for it. But no, really, if you stop recording, that's going to help. If you got other overlays or just things running in the background, turn all those off. Even your cheats. Not because they're slowing down your system necessarily, but because cheating is wrong. Anyways, that's all I've got for today. Hopefully, something here helped. If it did, make sure you hit like. And if you can, make sure you hit subscribe. That does help me, it supports the channel and helps me keep producing videos like this. I try to keep my videos short, sweet, and to the point because I want to get you back into the game. And that means I'm fighting the algorithm. So everything you can do helps. Thank you for watching, and until next time, peace.